Hello, boils and ghouls, and everyone creepy in between. Welcome to the real second episode of Average Ghost Mom Podcast. Man, what a week this has been. I'll tell y'all, it was after I recorded my first episode, because my first episode was on that Friday. It was last Friday. It was not crazy, but it's been busy. And then since then, it has been busy. And then after that, it's gonna be busy. So, first, let's take care of some blog business. So, let's see. Friday, um, my boyfriend's parents came in. Um, and that's when the storm was coming in. The storm was coming in Friday, but it didn't actually get to my part of Alabama until Saturday. And it got bad. There was okay, at the time, and my apologies that I live under a rock. I really do. At the time when I was watching the live radar, the live weather, um I was watching two different news channels in my area, and neither of them said that there was actually a touchdown. But my boyfriend's aunt called his mom, who was at our house, and she said, "Oh my gosh, there was a touchdown. There's a tornado touchdown." And I was watching the news, listening, and they did not say touchdown, but they did say that there was a lot of debris that had been moved because it triggered one of the filters. I don't know what it's called, but it triggered the debris filter on the radar. And when they were looking at a different filter on the radar, that there was a lot of rotation. So there might have been a touchdown. There might have not been a touchdown. There might have been almost a touchdown. I don't know. But it was literally like 10 minutes south of where I live, which is really close in my opinion, considering where the tornado, well, okay, where a supposed maybe tornado goes through is literally exactly where I drive to go meet Ava's dad on the weekends when he gets her on the weekends. I literally drive right through that area where it was. Um so that was really scary. I think that's the closest that a possible tornado like that has been to me in my adult life, that I've known about. So you bet your buttons I was pacing between my foyer window and between my back window, and I'm looking at the sky, and I can't see a dang thing because the rain is so heavy. Woo! I was worried. I was scared. But I would much rather be too much overprepared, over worried, you know, overcautious than to sit back and say, nah, it I've missed tornadoes before, I'll miss them now, and then get sucked up by one. So that was really freaky on Saturday. Sunday, grilled up a whole bunch of hamburgers. I cut up a watermelon. Ooh, I made some strawberry banana bars, some regular banana bars, some banana walnut banana bars, which don't come asking me for that recipe. Dad, do not be giving out that recipe. I'm gatekeeping that. It can get engraved on my urn, like I said last time. Um, let's see. And we had family come over and help. Let's see, really the only big thing that got done, because it rained so bad in our yard, our backyard is so much muddier than we knew. We only got the trampoline put up. And really, it wasn't me. Really, it was Josh and his uncle. And that's really all who helped with that, really. I did not do a dang thing because I did not want to get my feet all muddy and crap. Because I don't have muck boots anymore. Um, excuse me. Those those got left behind. So I only have my Crocs and tennis shoes, which it's so much easier to wash off mud with Crocs than it is with tennis shoes. But I don't like barefoot in Crocs because then feet get sweaty and that's just a ugh. That's a ick for me. I have to wear socks with Crocs. I am that person, and you can get over it. I'm not a crazy Croc person. I only have two pairs of Crocs. I don't like either of them because one pair is purple and the other pair is rainbow. And I tell you what, that really clashes when I wear a black shirt with black leggings and black socks and then walk out with some rainbow Crocs. It really kills the vibe. I need to get some black Crocs, but that's beside the point. Ah, so they were here. We got the trampoline put up, which, oh my gosh, Ava loves it. She is out there as much as she can, as much as I let her. But I got to get some like marigolds and lavender and some, I think, basil and thyme and oregano. I need to get some of that planted out there or put it in pots out there to help with keeping the mosquitoes and the gnats away. Um, I also had a couple of red finches that they were trying to build a nest in my porch light. I have a hanging porch lantern light, and the bottom panels are either missing or busted out or something. I don't know. They're not there though. Um, and it's easy for birds to get up in there and make nests. Well, I felt so bad. So I had called my dad and we were just chit chatting and I told him, oh yeah, I got a couple of finches. Like I'm so excited. And he goes, well, you better get them out of that porch light. And I said, to hell with that. Why would I do that? We don't ever use our front door because it's my front door. Because like I park in the garage. So I use the garage door. And Josh parks in front of the garage. So he uses the garage door. And he goes, well, when they have babies, they're going to be dive bombing y'all. And I said, okay, for like what, 6 to 8 weeks? Big whoop. And he said, well, they're going to shit all over that front stoop. And I said, actually, yeah, no, I don't want that though. Because even though we don't ever use our front door, it doesn't need to look like shit. So, nope, I took that out and went to, let's see, had doctor's appointments on Monday. So we went to Bucky's on Monday, Ava and I. And I got myself a little birdhouse and I stuffed all that finch's nest in it and went over, hung it up in a place that wasn't near the like it's in the front yard, but it's not by the front door. Because I mean, I still sometimes get packages and we get food delivered, and Ava likes to go get the mail, so it's not by the front door, but like if I step out on the front stoop, I can see it. And I ain't seen a dang thing in it. So I think the finches are mad at me for taking their nest down. But it's okay. Give it time. Somebody needs a house. They'll come around, whether it's this nesting season or next nesting season. It'll be okay. Um, Also, speaking about the outside, I have two cats. One of them, Belle, she, I think she's fine. I don't think she cares to go in the outside. I think she's kind of intrigued, but I think she's more intrigued of having an open screened window. I think the outside is too outsidey for her. However, my other cat, Chloe, wants to be outside. Has taken 3 opportunities to bolt outside. So, if anyone has any better ideas that is not grabbing the cat by the scruff and slapping his face around, please let me know. Please write into me. Now, we do keep an eye, if we're going outside, like if we're let the dogs outside, like first we figure out where the cats are. Because the first time was a complete surprise. We were like, whoa, not even expecting that. Second time, we didn't realize that she was in the room and she bolted because we weren't looking for her. And the third time, bless it, she slipped through Ava's legs. But each time she's only just gone out on the patio or like the front stoop and she's just stood there. She's been like, oh my gosh, I'm outside. What do I do? So much noise, so much wind, so much smell, too much, can't handle. And then by then, we have enough time to grab her and get her inside. But No, email me, averageghostmom at gmail.com. And if you have any ideas, any suggestions, anything that's worked for you, let me know. Definitely will try anything because I hate trying, I hate beating on their noses and stuff. I hate it. Especially because she got me. God, that last time, she got me pretty good on my finger. I was held her by her scruff, and she was trying to defend herself with reason, and she clawed at my pinky pretty good. Um, Also, Ava super duper enjoys making vlogs. Like, I let her do mini vlogs, which I'll post those on TikTok. So let me know. Go to my TikTok, Average Ghost Mom. Like them, watch them, comment on them. Give her some stuff, some things to interact with. She loves filming. She does. And so if she had some feedback from people, I know she would just be so, so excited about that. Um, Also, I was going to record this episode this morning, and I got up and I was just so freaking tired and exhausted. I almost could not get out of bed, for real. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get this podcast recorded, but I just cannot this morning. And now I'm glad that I waited. Um, because not very long after I started working today, I got a random text in the family chat from my dad who was commenting on things that were not part of the group chat at the time. He had mentioned about how, oh, don't worry, Kristana, you don't need to deep clean. You can just regular clean for us. And haha, don't worry about the dog hair because they're bringing their two dogs too, who also shed as bad as our dogs. Um, and I was thinking, none of the previous conversation in the text has anything to do with this. And the only person that I verbally told this to was my sister about 2 to 3 weeks ago. So I know she wouldn't have just randomly brought this up to my dad, and he would have not randomly just commented like this. And I said, oh my gosh, did he listen to my first podcast episode? Because I hadn't told my family about this yet that I was doing this. I was, kind of keeping it down low for now until I got, to a certain point. Because when you do a podcast, when you do anything, really, you kind of really just can't care about what other people think. And I wasn't quite ready to deal with my personal emotions if I would have been rejected, you know? I hadn't told my parents and I hadn't told Josh yet, I'll be honest, because I wasn't prepared to deal with the rejection if they were like, huh, oh, okay, she's gonna do a podcast, everybody. All right. You know, because you've got to learn if there's something that you really want to do and you're really passionate about, you cannot give a shit what others think. And you especially cannot give a shit about the people closest to you and what they think. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. You can't give a shit about what the people closest to you think. Please give a shit about the people close to you. Care about them, love them, embrace them. But, you know, if there's something you want to do it for yourself. Don't do it for everybody else. You've got to just take the idea and have enough passion to want to do it. And that's all you need. You don't need the approval of other people. And for me personally, it's way easier to accept approval and criticism from strangers than it is from my own family and my own like close friends. That's just my reality. So, I hadn't told him yet. I wasn't ready. But somehow, my ghost mom TikTok apparently came across my dad's TikTok feed. And he went and looked. He didn't follow me on my ghost mom TikTok. So, thanks, Dad. Maybe you might want to scoot on over and follow me there. That would be helpful. Um, Out of the two videos he watched, or at least the two videos he commented on, he only hearted one of them. So, it would also help if you would heart and or interact with all my videos. But that's fine. Do what you want. it things will happen how they're supposed to happen. Everything happens for a reason, happens on its own. Who am I to sit here to say or judge such things? Dad, you do what you want to do. I still love you either way. But know that I'm watching you. I'm watching you from a different window, but I'm watching you. Anyway, so my parents come in next week. So I'll post this episode the Sunday before they come in. And depending if I can get some free time away, I might be able to get a second episode, or excuse me, a third episode recorded while they're here. It might be a little bit of a late episode. So we'll just kind of see. It's not a packed week for me just because I'm still working most of it, so I basically have like my same schedule. It's just now my parents are going to be here and I don't get to see my parents very often. I currently live in North Alabama and my parents live in East Nebraska. So it's about a 13-hour drive from them to me. And it's it's not quite just a weekend trip up and back. Not when you could make the whole drive in one day, you know. It's especially easier done with two people. Um I've made the drive in one day multiple times. Um, when I first moved to Alabama, I lived down in Mobile. That's it. That's a 17-hour drive. And I did that all in one go. I was young, I was on adrenaline, so, I left at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then I got to Mobile at like 11 o'clock at night. I took like an hour nap in Arkansas, Missouri. I don't remember where. Doesn't matter. I did an 18-hour drive in one day. That was cray cray. But this past Thanksgiving, I went up and back and I made that drive, um, all in one go. I accidentally made the drive there all overnight. I got off work, picked up Ava, we went and got snacks, and then we left, and that was a Friday. And I got into Nebraska to my parents' house at like 6:30 in the morning. I drove overnight after having already woken up at 6:30 that day. So I was up for a full 24 hours accidentally. I just had so much adrenaline to get to my parents' house. I was so excited because, I mean, really, except for maybe twice for the past 6 years, I've only gotten to see my parents a little bit. Very, very little. Most of the time, it has been 2 nights a year because I will meet my mom halfway and exchange Ava. My parents take my daughter Ava for 2 weeks during the summer because that's what I always did growing up. I'd go to one grandma, my sister would go to the other grandma for 2 weeks, and then we'd swap and go flip flop grandmas for another 2 weeks, and that's like what we did growing up during the summer. So we want to still have that tradition in my family with my daughter. Um, so they take her for 2 weeks, so I get to meet my mom and spend the night with her halfway to give her Ava, and then again to get Ava. And so for a while, like, that was it. I didn't get to see my dad unless he'd come, which he really didn't because it didn't make sense, especially with having dogs and he he has a job too, so it's coordinating the job. It's just makes more sense to just have grandma come and get Ava. So I really only got to see my mom 2 nights every year, you know, just with the distance and stuff. But I moved up here, so the drive's a little bit more tolerable to just, drive for a day. Um, but I had expressed how that I miss them because my sister only lives like, what, 20, 30 minutes away. But she sees them on a weekly basis because she still lives up there. And, oh, I know. Oh, Kristana, well, you didn't have to move to Alabama. I know. Oh, Kristana, you could have moved back. You had the opportunity. I know. I know. I've made my choices. But my family is very loving, very unique, very understanding, you know, and I am very, very lucky to get to have them and to have such amazing parents that have given me so much love, wisdom, have taught my sister and I to have the values that we have. You know, it's it's a blessing in disguise. It's something you don't realize until it's a hindsight thing or until it's too late kind of thing, you know? So I'm definitely making sure and doing my best that I can to make it known, at least to them, how appreciative I am and how much I love them, and that anything that happens, I don't take for granted. And anything that has happened in my past is not taken for granted. So I'm very excited to have them next week. And I cannot wait. I kind of really want to cheese Louise, record my third episode afterwards so I can update you guys with what we did. To blog on how that week went. So, in between you and me, I am super duper excited for my parents to bring their dogs because my parents have two dogs and I have two dogs. And my parents, their dogs, have the same personalities as my dogs. I have one dog that, yeah, I'll go outside, but really I don't want to go outside. I really just want to lay on the couch and sleep. And the other dog wishes they could live outside all the time and play and run around and sleep and drink and eat and just do everything outside all the time. And equally, both dogs want to be under your skin in their appropriate times. Which both of my parents, that's how their dogs are. They have one that, yeah, I'll go outside, but really I just want to lay on the couch up next to you. And the other one, I want to be outside all the time, playing fetch, chasing the ball. We play all the time. And it's funny because it's kind of like those relationship things where it's like, oh, you have one person who does this, and then you have another person who's the exact opposite, and somehow they find each other and marry each other. I feel like that's the same with like dog life. When you have two dogs, you have one dog that is this way, and the second dog is the exact opposite, and somehow they end up living in the same house together. That is that's just it. Tis what tis. And I think that's the blog business I have. So for this episode, even though we are already um well, my thing didn't save. So I have no idea how long I've been recording. I have been recording for 691 bars. Whatever that means. Um Hold on. Can I change this in the middle of while I'm recording this? Oh, I sure can. Oh, that's good. It's only been 23-ish minutes. Just after 20 minutes. Plenty of time. Good, 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 good. So really, my goal with this episode today, um, I would love to get to have guests, to interview guests, to have people on the the podcast. I would love to get to bring other people on, and I would love for the listeners to get to ask questions afterwards. So I have a list of like interview questions that I have. I mean, I call them interviews. It's basically what it is, but I feel like interviews is like way too formal, way too fancy. Maybe I should call it gossip time, gossip corner. I don't know. If you guys have ideas, write in, of course. averageghostmom@gmail.com. You can also message me on Instagram, or you can shoot me a message on TikTok, um, or you can comment on here, or on YouTube, or on Apple Podcast, of course, or Spotify. I just forgot. Spotify is kind of my main, I feel like. Anyway, doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Let's focus. Stay focused. Um, I have these interview questions kind of already laid out, to get to ask people and talk to people about. So I figured Well, you're listening to me. You probably want to know who the heck I am. So I figured for this episode, I would do an interview for you guys. This is these are the interview questions, and I shall go in order. Um, so let us go. So my name, I am Kristana, but I much prefer to be your ghost mom. Um, I am currently 26, but I will be 27 this year, which is, ugh, oh my God, getting so old. My best friend, so I am a May baby, and she's a November baby. And, for such a long time, she was making fun of me. She's like, ha ha, you're gonna be 27, and I'm still gonna be 26, and you're gonna be so old. And I'm like, you're literally 6 months apart, dude. You're only half a year younger than me, so you're still old, you know? And she was like, nope, nope, you're 27, I'll be 26, you're old. She rubbed it in my face, and I don't know why, because, she's just as old as I am, so, hmm. With that, I am a May Taurus, so I'm at the beginning of the month. Um, definitely, I definitely have some Taurus, energy, um, some stereotypical Taurus stuff, like a foodie. OMG. Well, obviously I'm a foodie because I freaking have a whole recipe thing about all of this. Like, I love to cook. That's one of the things about me. I love cooking. I love trying new food. Love trying new restaurants. Oh my gosh. When my boyfriend and I first met, our very first date, he was like, well, is there anywhere that you've wanted to try? And I said, well, I mean, I don't know. Like, usually we go for like Mexican or Chinese or just like regular, quote unquote, American cuisine. I've never had Thai. And he's like, well, cool. I've never had Thai either. Let's have our first date be a Thai restaurant. And that was like, you know what? Heck yeah. Let's get out there and do some freaking dating. Like, let's go to a Thai restaurant. I have no idea if I'm going to like anything on the menu, but why not? And it was really good. I do not remember what I had, and I don't remember what the place was called. All I can tell you is it's in the same strip as it's either 88 buffet or it's buffet 88. I can't remember which way it goes. But there's a small, cutesy little Thai restaurant in there. It was really good. It was really good. Um, where am I from? So now I would tell you I'm from North Alabama, but I have been from Nebraska longer than I've been from Alabama. I was born and raised in East Nebraska. Not to triangulate things too much, but basically, I'm gonna say basically, I'm from Omaha. Um, I'm not from Omaha, but I'm from the Omaha area, I will say, which Omaha is the biggest city in Nebraska. So, I basically, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I don't remember. But no, I've been from Omaha, Nebraska longer than I've been from Huntsville, Alabama, and for longer than I've been from Mobile, Alabama. Um, what do I do? Um, for my occupation, the most general that I can say, because the big corporate companies don't want you saying them on social media, so I won't say them. I won't say their name or anything. Golly, I've got so much crap on this sweatshirt. Sorry, guys. I work for a big healthcare corporation. They have multiple branches over like hospice, home health, physical therapy, IV infusion companies. I think there might be like one or two more branches. I don't quite know. But I work for their home health branch, and I am one of the first steps in billing for them. Um, so that's as general as I can. That's as specific and as general as I can say without getting in trouble, basically. Is a I'm not a coder. Don't think I got that. I am one of the first steps in their billing organization department or whatever you want to call it. Do I have a favorite childhood memory? I want you guys to know I have practiced my interview probably 7 different times since coming up, since deciding I was going to interview myself first. I have probably practiced this probably 7 different times. And every time I get to this question, I'm always like, what is my favorite childhood memory? What's a memory from childhood that I have that I love and endear so much? And every time I tell myself, I don't really have one right now, but the more that I talk, I probably come up with one. And every time I never come up with one. And it's not that like I had a bad childhood. Like I didn't at all. I have a lot of great memories. It's just which one is my utmost favorite. Like if I had to put the biggest pin on a memory in my childhood, which one would it be? And I don't know. I don't have an absolute favorite that I can I don't have an absolute favorite that I can just pick off the top of my head right now. I mean, 2008 we went to Disney World in Florida. That was really fun. Um oh my gosh, all the summers getting to go to my grandparents' house. I had one grandma who majority of my going to her house for the summers, majority of that time was in Texas. She lived in Austin, so that was really fun. Um, Other grandma, she lived out in mid to Midwest Nebraska. So growing up, those memories with her were fun. Um, Gosh, I've got so my parents owned a bowling alley and restaurant from the time I was a second grader until I was about a freshman in high school. So when you are basically raised in a bowling alley, you tend to pick up on bowling. So I have, you know, a small handful of memories. Like there was one time, one of my favorite ones, and I love reflecting on it, is I made it to um, junior gold champion bowling tournament in Indianapolis. And basically, it's like the best of the best kids in youth league across all of America get to go to this. And then from there, they compete in like a round robin style tournament. And I don't have anything like specific from that, but I know that I enjoyed that. I got to go with my dad. My dad took me. It was so freaking cool because um that was probably one of the very few trips that I got to take with my dad solo. And I remember like, oh, we got gas and snacks and music, and we're gonna go. It's gonna be a car ride. It's gonna be like awesome dad-daughter bonding, and we get to go bowling. Well, he didn't get to, it was me, but like I was decent. I was pretty good. You know, if you make it to junior gold, that's a really big deal. Not just anybody makes it. I really was truthful about, you know, the best of the best. And I was like, man, like I get to this is my thing. Like, I get to show my dad, like, look at how good I am. You know, like he gets to be proud of me. And uh we ate at Steak and Shake. That was my first time ever at Steak and Shake. I still have the Steak and Shake hat that he got for me, which I mean they're free. Like anyone can have one, but it was the first time we'd ever gone. We got burgers and fries, and I'm pretty sure we got a milkshake, and it was kind of like a daddy-daughter date, and it was just, oh, it was so cool. And he snagged me a hat, and I wore it, and I was just, yeah. I think that's probably one of my big pin favorite memories is Steak and Shake, actually. Which I don't know how big of a deal or like how big of a memory that was for my dad, but I know for me personally, it's a big one. It was cool. It was awesome. I loved it. Um, so one piece of advice for listeners today, which I hope to share a lot of advice with you guys throughout the episodes. But today, my one piece of advice for listeners, literally learn to not give a crap. Okay? Look, I when I was coming into adulthood, I didn't know who I was, really. I mean, I had always followed the lead of my parents, followed the lead of my peers, followed the expectations. Um, I only had like two friends in high school, really. Um, and we all had our own style, our own unique things about us, but we collabed, we combined very well. And so I didn't really have very many people that I had to like please or like had to fit in with growing up. But equally, I didn't know how to have my own style, my own uniqueness, my own. I didn't know how to not care about what other people thought is what it was. I had to make sure I had the approval of other people. I had to have the approval of my parents. I have to have the approval of my two friends, which is so much easier than having approval of like 10 friends. I have to have the approval of my teachers, of my professors, of my boss and my managers. I had to make sure of my boyfriend at the time. I had to make sure other people approved and were good with what I was doing or saying or acting or dressing. And at the end of my previous relationship, I kind of was like, "Actually, I think so. I'm only 26. Your brain, at least for females, I don't remember for males, but the female brain is fully developed at 25. And really, when I was 25, I had kind of like a shift in my perspective because not only was I 25 with a finally fully developed brain, but I also was a mom. I was a mom of my own child, and at the time I had a stepchild. Um, so I things in my world around me and my perspective started to change and shift, and I really did not. I started not caring in a good way. I started not caring what people thought of me, of how I dressed, of how I looked, of how I acted, of how I held myself. um, I didn't become an asshole. Like, I'm not just gonna walk into a Walmart, be loud as hell on the phone, take whatever the hell I want, don't, not have manners. Like, I still have, common civil decency, but I mean, I will go out in public not wearing a bra because I do not give a shit. Now, sometimes I do prefer to just wear a bra because sometimes you just need the support. But most of these days, I don't wear a bra out in public and I don't give a shit, you know? Um, my kid can dress however she wants to dress as long as it's within appropriate weather, you know. She could this child has walked out of my house wearing pants underneath a spaghetti strap dress underneath a sweatshirt. Um, she has had mismatching socks. She has had the craziest freaking hair you've ever seen. I do not care. I don't care. Whatever opinion you think that. Ooh, sorry if you picked up on that. Let me just. So sorry. Um, whatever opinion you think of me from letting my kid dress however she wants to dress or of me going out however I want to dress. Oh, okay, cool. Are you going to tell me? Probably not. So really, I don't care what you think about me. Also, you're a complete stranger. The likelihood that our paths cross again in the future is very slim, even though I happen to live in an area where usually the people who live in this area shop in this area. We have a super Walmart just 7 minutes south. We have a small Walmart 2 minutes north. There's like two or three different schools in the area. There's an Aldi. There's plenty of restaurants. There's parks. Oh my gosh. This is like, I call it like mini Colorado, basically. Okay. I live in basically mini Colorado. Everyone has a dog, and everyone takes their dogs for a walk throughout any time of the day. So many people in Colorado have a dog, and they take their dogs out for walks at all hours of the day. Okay? So literally, if I'm out here getting my mail and I'm in some stupid booty shorts and a spaghetti strap with no bra on, and you happen to see all this and it's like 20 degrees outside while you're out walking your dog, I don't give a crap. If I walk up into Walmart with looking like a complete hobo or something, I don't give a crap. Like, judge me if you want. You're gonna come say to my face? No? Okay, cool. And really, the the topping of all of this, the icing on the cake is most of these dang people aren't even looking at you. They're not even looking at me. They're too worried about their 5-year-old throwing a tantrum on the ground because he doesn't get to have the candy that he wanted. Or they're too busy thinking about what they're about to go do. Oh, did I get everything I needed at the store? I got the eggs, I got the milk, got the bread. I need this, you know? Or they're too busy about the school day that they just had, the work day that they just had. They're too busy thinking about the horrible relationship they're in, or they're too busy thinking about the perfect relationship that they're in, or they're too busy worrying about what's wrong with their car, and oh my God, I have to buy eggs today. How the hell am I going to buy a tire tomorrow for my car? Like, nobody cares. And the people who do care, if they have negative shit to say, they're bitches. Because literally, they don't have anything better to do than to look at you. They ain't got nothing going up on in their brains so bad that they look at you and they have the audacity to say, oh my God, she left the house looking like that? She let her kid leave the house looking like that? Oh my God. Do you even hear me? Do you hear how conceited that sounds? That is ridiculous. And like I also said, are you gonna come say it to my face? No? Well, ignorance is bliss, baby. The less I know, the better. I mean, unless you're gonna come confront me in the parking lot after I check out, I could not give two craps. And that's one thing that, like, growing up, I knew I needed to learn, but it is, how do I learn? How do I let that go? And I don't know, for me, it's just time, you know? It's gaining more experience in other places. It's you know what? Sometimes you forget to do laundry and you have just got to go in what you've got left over in your drawers, you know? We all go through hardships, patches, rough spots in our life. We all have peaks in our life. It's going to happen. And you can just be a better human by being understanding. You don't have to be a dick, okay? You don't you don't have to. It is, though it is costs $0 to be a dick, it also costs $0 to be nice. And really, this world could really, get a boost just from everyone being nice and understanding, in the car when I'm driving, because oh my gosh, I'll be the first to admit I have some verbal road rage, okay? I will be the first. If somebody pulls out in front of me and they're going 5 miles an hour and I am speeding down the road, I'll be the first to say some nasty things. But like what I've been doing is I'll finish saying it and I'll take a breath and I'll say no. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're a new driver. Maybe they're in a little bit of a hurry and they miscalculated how fast I was going. Or like I'll cut myself off in the middle because like I also know the more that I display of this behavior in front of my child, the more she's going to think that this is fine, this is normal. So when she starts driving and this happens to her, she's just going to go off and thinking, "Oh yeah, everyone's parents do this. Everyone does this. It's fine." And it's not, because what you do in one place, you're bound to do in another place. So if I'm on the road and these minor inconveniences on the road happen, what's going to happen if I'm in like the checkout line and I'm coming in with my cart and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to get in line, and somebody quickly comes up in front of me, you know, practice what you preach. I would never go off on somebody in person like I do in the car, you know? So, but I know every time that I do it in the car, it pushes me closer to accidentally doing that, or like giving them a look or being like, hey, wait, no, no, I'm in public. Don't do this in public. And also my daughter could get the wrong idea. If she sees me do that in the car, she might accidentally say something in public. If someone cuts me off in the line, she might say, "Well, hey, wait a minute, mommy. That's not very nice. She cut you off." And kids don't have the filter, they don't have the knowledge of like, "Oh, you really shouldn't say that out loud. You should kind of keep some of that in your head." And my daughter, she is the queen of not having a filter. Now, granted, she's 5, so she's still learning to develop the filter, but uh the stories I could tell, the stories I could tell of stuff that she has said, and it's like, child, can you shut the hell up, please? You can save that until we get in the car, and you can tell mommy in private what your thoughts are about this. Bless it. So, no, it's don't give a shit. Don't give a shit about what other people think. Do things because you like it. Do things because you care. Do things because you have the passion for it. And that's all that matters. Really, you'll be so much happier as soon as you can learn to not care about what other people think. Seriously. All right. Oh, this was a silly question I had to kind of break up all of the seriousness. Least favorite salad dressing. Now, this one I have put so much thought into because I made this question, and then the several times of trying to like do my own interview, I have always been like, well, I know what my most favorite salad dressings are, but I don't really have a salad dressing I don't like. And then it occurred to me. So I'll start with my favorite salad dressings is Dorothy Lynch and Ranch. Now, if you're not from the Midwest or at least from Nebraska, no, excuse me, if you're not from Nebraska or at least the Midwest, you're gonna have no freaking clue what Dorothy Lynch is. And the best I can describe it to you is like, it's like Catalina. It's similar to French, but not at all, also. It's like a sweet tomato French dressing. If I if that even does any justice, really. It's it's something you just have to experience. Um, it's also um was invented and is only made in Nebraska, so you can't purchase it anywhere but it's either anywhere but Nebraska or it's anywhere but the Midwest. I don't quite know. Um, Either way, every time I visit a parent, they always bring me a bottle of Dorothy Lynch because I can't buy it down here. And my boyfriend, Josh, he likes Dorothy Lynch, so now we have to start being gifted large bottles of Dorothy Lynch. But I like Dorothy Lynch and Ranch combined. I think that is a duo made in heaven. That is like Oreo cookie and milk for me. It is, gosh darn it, good. But my least favorite, I had to go through it. I don't know, okay, well, Ranch, Dorothy Lynch, Honey Mustard, Thousand Island, French, Catalina, vinaigrette, any vinaigrette, because there's raspberry vinaigrette, blueberry vinaigrette, pecan vinaigrette, probably strawberry vinaigrette. There's a poppy seed dressing. There's blue cheese. And then I got to it. Oil and I think is it oil and vinaigrette or is it oil and vinegar? No, it's not oil and vinegar. That doesn't make sense. I think it's oil and vinaigrette I don't like because you're just washing your salad. Now, I like a raspberry vinaigrette when it's just that, but like oil, some people just like put oil on their salad, and that is no. Like I said, you're just washing your lettuce. Put some flavor on there. Get a little something going on for the taste buds. Don't just put oil on lettuce with carrots and cucumbers and call that a good little salad. No. Get some frickin' flavor on there. Okay, your taste buds will thank you. So, oil is my least favorite salad dressing. Um, Life growing up, I'm gonna skip that one for now, just because we are kind of getting later into the podcast. I can go over that later. Um, let's see. Favorite holiday? Well, I think. most people could probably guess that my most favorite holiday is indeed Halloween. Um, because like the famous TikTok, no, it's a Vine. It was a Vine. The famous Vine. It's always Halloween in my soul. It is. It is. I have so many pumpkins, skeletons, ghosts, little witchy things around my house, and it's just everyday decor. It is. Spooky cats, little spooky dogs, all over my house. All over. I love it. And it's kind of funny. So I am what I would refer to as Black Halloween. All like majority of my clothes are black. Shoes are black. Bedding is black. Uh, accessories, purses. It is my dream one day to have a black house. Okay, where my daughter Ava is pastel Halloween. She has a pumpkin patch in her room. She collects pumpkins. She has orange pumpkins, white pumpkins, purple velvet pumpkins, uh, pink pumpkins. She has a Jack and a Sally pumpkin. Her pumpkins light up cool colors. She she loves a pastel, a pink and purple and blue theme style colored Halloween. So, which really I think it's a very good compliment. Black and pastels. I don't know, it's a very it's a nice little duo, if I do say so myself. From there, Christmas is always a fun time just because I'm very family oriented and Christmas and like Thanksgiving are just very family oriented. It's a very family oriented time for me. So, also the Taurus in me loves the food. Um, so I definitely those man, what are they called? It's like Hallow Thanksmas, I think is what I've seen. Hallow Thanksmas. I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody will let me know if I'm wrong. But it's like the last three holidays of the year are like a lot of people's favorites, you know? Um, and of course, they're mine as well. Um, I don't really have any traditions that go around it. Traditionally, I have a turkey at Thanksgiving and a ham at Christmas, but every time we did Thanksgiving or Christmas with my previous significant other, it was always turkey and ham. It was never just turkey or just ham, it was turkey and ham, which I thought was crazy. But that's mostly because that's not what I grew up with. So, you know. I don't know. We don't really have any like special traditions. I don't think. I'm trying to go through. I mean, we usually put the Christmas tree up like right after Thanksgiving, either like the next day or two. Um, I will say I am quite pleased. Ava agrees with me in that when Christmas is over, get your Christmas decorations put away. Oh my gosh. I put Christmas away before the new year. That's just like I have to do that or else I'm just going to put it off. So, usually there's always like a day or two or three or four after Christmas that people have available and I get Christmas put away. If not before New Year, on New Year's Day, Christmas gets put away. Okay? Um she likes to go grocery shopping with me, so I'll take her grocery shopping and on our way home, one of the houses like a block or two away from us, they had their Christmas decorations up until like 2 weeks ago. I'm talking 2 weeks ago was like the beginning of March, mid March. They had their Christmas for all of December, all of January, all of February, and half of March. That's 3.5 months. Too long. And it was funny because we'd pass by it and she'd see it and she'd go, Mommy, they still have their Christmas stuff up. And it is past Christmas. And I said, I know. How does that make you feel? She goes, Well, it's past Christmas. I need to get it put away. Because it's not Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Does that upset you? She goes, yeah. I'm like, okay. Glad we can agree on that. But all right, okay. Good, 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 good. So, I just, it's just fun. What are the odds that I get a child who agrees when it's not Christmas time, don't have Christmas up? Which is kind of two-faced of me because I keep Halloween up all year. So really it's like, well, can you really be talking? Yes. Yes, I can. I don't have it up outside. It's up in my house. This is outside. I keep my Halloween to myself. This is spreading Christmas to everybody. Too long. Too long. Anyway. Ooh, I'm gonna save that question for later. Um, you know, I think I'm going to end my interview. I didn't get to every single question, but that's also because I took the first like 25 minutes to talk about blog business. So, I'm sure a lot of these other questions will come up throughout the rest of the episodes, and also whilst talking with other people. So, um, if you have any suggestions as to other questions that you would like to hear, I plan on being able to interview like my daughter, my boyfriend, friends that I have in the area, friends that I have who are also doing podcasts. So they kind of understand the podcast equipment and we can do a long distance because they live in Arizona, the ones that I'm thinking about. They live, oh shoot, not Arizona. Yeah, Arizona. Oh God, I almost said New Mexico. Good Lord. No, they live in Arizona. Um, they know how to work long distance pod tech. So, but people who are here, my goal is to get to have interview or gossip time with them. So if there's any other questions off the bat that you're like, "Oh, you should totally add this to your questionnaire." Send them in. Send them in. If you have better questions, if you have any questions you want me to answer or whatever, send them in. And send in you what would your answers be to these? Cuz eventually I would love to bring on listeners, and get to do interviews like this with listeners and get to share I don't want to say their stories because I already want you guys to bring in your stories, but I get to share their stuff. That'd be cool. So send in whatever the heck you want to send in. Email again, averageghostmom@gmail.com. Average Ghost Mom on TikTok, Average Ghost Mom on Instagram. You can find me on Spotify. You can find me on Apple Podcasts. I'm also on YouTube. I'm trying to post more, get better at regularly posting mini vlogs for Ava. So if you guys have anything, comments, questions, concerns, send it in. I am looking forward to it. Thank you guys for listening today at the real second episode. And I will talk with y'all later.